Chapter 5. Milly Molly Mandy goes to a party. Once upon a time, something very nice happened in the village where Milly Molly Mandy and her father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie lived. Some ladies clubbed together to give a party to all the children in the village, and of course Milly Molly Mandy was invited. Little friend Susan had an invitation too, and Billy Blunt, whose father kept the corn shop where Milly Molly Mandy's uncle got his chicken feed, and Jilly, the little niece of Miss Muggins, who kept the shop where Milly Molly Mandy's grandma bought her knitting wool, and lots of others whom Milly Molly Mandy knew. It was exciting. Milly Molly Mandy had not been to a real party for a long time, so she was very pleased and interested when Mother said, "Well, Milly Molly Mandy, you must have a proper new dress for a party like this. We must think what we can do." So Mother and Grandma and Auntie thought together for a bit, and then Mother went to the big wardrobe and rummaged in her bottom drawer until she found a most beautiful white silk scarf, which she had worn when she was married to Father, and it was just wide enough to be made into a party frock for Milly Molly Mandy. Then Grandma brought out her best handkerchief box, a most beautiful lace handkerchief, which would just cut into a little collar for the neck of the party frock. And Auntie brought out of her small top drawer some most beautiful pink ribbon, all smelling of lavender, just enough to make into a sash for the party frock. And then Mother and Auntie set to work to cut and stitch at the party frock, while Milly Molly Mandy jumped up and down and handed pins when they were wanted. The next day Father came in with a paper parcel for Milly Molly Mandy, bulging in his coat pocket, and when Milly Molly unwrapped it, she found the most beautiful little pair of red shoes inside. And then Grandpa came in and held out his closed hand to Milly Molly Mandy, and when Milly Molly Mandy got her fingers open, she found the most beautiful little coral necklace inside. And then Uncle came in, and he said to Milly Molly Mandy, "What have I done with my handkerchief?" And he felt in all his pockets. "Oh, here it is." And he pulled out the most beautiful little handkerchief with a pink border, which of course Milly Molly Mandy just knew was meant for her, and she wouldn't let Uncle wipe his nose on it, which he pretended he was going to do. Milly Molly Mandy was so pleased she hugged everybody in turn: Father, Mother, Grandpa, Grandma, Uncle and Auntie. At last the great day arrived, and little friend Susan, in her best spotted dress and silver bangle, called for Milly Molly Mandy, and they went together to the village institute where the party was to be. There was a lady outside who welcomed them in, and there were more ladies inside who helped them to take their things off. And everywhere looked so pretty, with garlands of coloured paper looped from the ceiling, and everybody in their best clothes. Most of the boys and girls were looking at a row of toys on the mantelpiece, and a lady explained that they were all prizes to be won by the children who got the most marks in the games they were going to have. There was a lovely fairy doll and a big teddy bear and a picture book and all sorts of things. And at the end of the row was a funny little white cotton wool rabbit with a pointed paper hat on his head. And directly Milly Molly Mandy saw him, she wanted him dreadfully badly, more than any of the other things. Little friend Susan wanted the picture book, and Miss Muggins' niece Jilly wanted the fairy doll, but the black beady eyes of the little cotton wool rabbit gazed so wistfully at Milly Molly Mandy that she determined to try ever so hard in all the games and see if she could win him. Then the games began, and they were fun. They had a spoon and potato race, and musical chairs, and putting the tail on the donkey blindfold, and all sorts of guessing games. And then they had supper, bread and butter with coloured hundreds and thousands sprinkled on them, and red jellies and yellow jellies, and cakes with icing, and cakes with cherries, and lemonade in red glasses. It was quite a proper party. And at the end, the names of the prize winners were called out, and the children had to go up and receive their prizes. And what do you think Milly Molly Mandy got? Why, she had tried so hard to win the little cotton wool rabbit that she won first prize instead and got the lovely fairy doll. Here's Millie Molly Mandy getting ready in her new dress. You can see this was the colouring in that I did when I was a little girl, because this used to be my book when I was little. And Miss Muggins's niece Jilly, who hadn't won any of the games, got the little cotton wool rabbit with the sad beady eyes. But you know, the cotton wool rabbit was only the booby prize after all. It was a lovely fairy doll, but Millie Molly Mandy was sure Miss Muggins's Jilly wasn't loving the booby rabbit as it ought to be loved, for its beady eyes did look so sad. And when she got near Miss Muggins's Jilly, she stroked the booby rabbit, and Miss Muggins's Jilly stroked the fairy doll's hair. And then Millie Molly Mandy said, "Do you love the fairy doll more than the booby rabbit?" And Miss Muggins's Jilly said, "I should think so." So Millie Molly Mandy ran up to the lady who had given the prizes and asked if she and Miss Muggins's Jilly might exchange prizes. And the lady said, "Oh, yes, of course." So Millie Molly Mandy and the booby rabbit went home together to the nice white cottage with the thatched roof. And father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie all liked the booby rabbit very much indeed. And you know, one day one of his little bead eyes dropped off, and when mother had stuck it on again with a dab of glue, his eyes didn't look a bit sad any more, but almost as happy as Millie Molly Mandy's own.